This is the hype.
Isaac.
I am S2K. What
You guys are watching.
You guys are watching.
You're watching WVTV.
BG's.
Who is infinite? Honestly, that's a hard question for me to answer. I can't really define myself as one thing. I feel like for me, it's just like a way of living. Like to have a thing that represents that all good feelings, all good vibes can last forever if you wanted to. The reason why I picked my name is because not only am I really influenced by God, like I feel like God's love lasts forever. It's just a thing where it was like, man, like if God forbid anything happens to me one day, I want my music to be, you know, forever played. Like I want people to remember me like yo, that's infinite, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is infinite's music, and you know, music is a thing that never dies out. You know what I mean? Music is something that never goes away. Like I feel like no matter what we do, no matter how much in time we progress, I feel like music's always gonna be there. And so, you know, as far as my music, if I make it or not, you know, even if I don't make it, you know what I mean? I feel like my music is still gonna be played by some of the heads in, you know, Riverside or in California or something like that. So, you know, it's just I just want my music to be played on forever.
4621, the home of where it all started. Recording in a washroom, turn it into an.
I've always listened to music. Like I've always had a love for music ever since I was a kid. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. Coming up, I was always listening to, you know, New York rap. Even though I wasn't allowed to listen to rap music, my cousins and everything, they would always show me rap music. Like, yo, you know, they show me Biggie Smalls or Mobb Deep or Nas. Or they'll show me old school cats like the Grandmaster Flash, and you know what I'm saying. So I was always very influenced by music growing up. It was so funny because I never thought about rapping until like I was a little bit older. I think I was like 13, 14 at the time when I figured out like, oh, I'm gonna just try it. I honestly just started it as a hobby. I didn't think it was gonna turn into anything that was gonna be like, yo, like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, or this is something that I want to always, you know, be about. The way it came about was just really, it was really unexpected. It was really sudden. I wrote my first song. I think I was 14. I wrote my first song. I recorded it off an iPod Touch, and then I literally just put it out like that. I showed it to a couple people, and they were just like, yo, man, like this is cool. This is tight. And at that time, you know, mind you, not a lot of people were rapping at that time. It was a thing where it was like, you know, it was really rare for somebody to be into rap. Nowadays, everybody wants to rap, because I guess it's made easy. Anybody can really do it. But at the time, it was like really hard for like somebody in high school, somebody in middle school to be rapping, be spitting, and actually be good at it. So it was just, you know, I would show people and they'd be like, dang, like you rap, like that's crazy, like I never knew that about you. I started getting, you know, like a good vibe from it, from everybody. They were just like, yo, like, you know, keep going with it, keep going, like don't stop it. So I just kept going. I just kept pursuing it, kept making little songs here and there, writing in a notebook. Like I had like tons of notebooks put away, just like lyrics that I would just write, or like just poems that I would just write. Music wasn't honestly something that I thought I was gonna be doing, but you know, everything happens for a reason.
But it's never more than what it seems, but I'm still me. Broken, beat, and scarred, but I can still speak. Always speak the truth until it kills me. The word is what has filled me. The world is what has killed me with selfish greed and envy.
When I started taking rap seriously, I remember when I was coming up and I was doing the whole, because I was making songs off my iPod thinking, oh, yo, I'm good. Like, this is how I'm going to make it. Like, this is how, you know, this is how things are going to be. Because I didn't know any better, you know. I didn't know about how to make music. I didn't know about how to mix or master, or like you had to send it over to mastering or get it edited or do anything like that. You know, I didn't know nothing about that. So me thinking like, oh man, this is how they do it, I guess this is golden. It was just growing, because I had a couple friends that were rapping before me, and they were, you know, putting out high quality music, and I'm just sitting here like, damn, like my songs don't sound like that. You know, I don't sound like this. Like, what am I missing? Like, what am I doing wrong? So I would study it, and I would go online, and I'd be like, yo, like, okay, so I gotta see how they actually record music, or how they actually do this. And I had to literally just sit there and teach myself, because honestly, I had nobody to teach me, because nobody really knew how to make music like that. Nobody that I knew. Nobody really knew how to do any of that. I think I was doing like the whole iPod Touch thing for like a year, I think, and then I was like 15, 16 where I got my first mic. I bought my first Pro Tools demo. It came with an M audio interface. I forgot what the name of the mic was. I think it was like an Audio Technica. For anybody who knows about microphones, you know that's like the cheapest microphone you can get. It's like 80, 90, I think now it's like 60 bucks, but before it was like 80, 90 bucks. So it was like the cheapest thing I could afford. A lot of people like letting me know, because people who like my music hit me up. They'll be like, yo, I think you should take it more seriously. If you're gonna do it, like actually record it, actually get something written or something mixed down and some good quality, you know, like radio stuff. And I'm just like, well, like, I don't know. First, I don't know anybody who knows how to do that. I don't have money. Like, I'm in high school. I don't even have a job yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people start working in high school, but I didn't have a job at that time. I was too busy doing dumb stuff. I just said, you know, and I'm gonna just teach myself, whatever. Like I can't, like there's nothing much I can really do but do that. It just took a lot of patience and learning, and on me to be actually serious about my music and about how I wanted to. And at the time it was hard for me too, because I felt like around that time, like when I was 15, 16, like I didn't really even know what I wanted to sound like. I know I wanted to have a sound, I knew I wanted to be like certain rappers and certain artists, but I never knew what my sound was. I never knew like, oh yo, I have to be rapping about this. And it took me a while. It took me a cool minute to figure out what I even wanted to be about. Well, one of the biggest challenges of being a local artist, I guess, is content. Putting out songs, writing songs. I feel like that was hard for me because I had just started out. It was just hard for me to even get one song done. It was always looking for a place to record. That was hard. Creating a fan base, I feel like is the hardest thing. I still have a problem with that category. It's just so hard to just get people's interest because, you know, people's interests change over time. And a lot of people don't like whatever they liked last year, they don't like this year. Or whatever they liked 3 years ago, they don't like today. One of the bigger things too is just networking with other people. It's a competitive industry. I've had a lot of people in the past who've done me wrong, who've I've had altercations with and stuff. So it's just, I feel like that's another big thing that the challenge that I faced was just trusting people, learning how to work with that person without them having to hate me in the end. You know, and I've had a lot of people that have done that, and you know, it's just really hard. You just gotta know, you just gotta be A1 with people. You gotta be real honest, be straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you don't like somebody or whatever, you just, you know, be straight up about it. One of the biggest problems I've had with being a local artist, because again, in the IE alone, there is a lot of hip-hop artists and a lot of artists in general that do what they do and sometimes get big-headed or sometimes get threatened by seeing somebody else do their thing, and you know, they may or may not say something or lash out and do things like that, but it happens, man. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I feel like that's one of the biggest challenges that I face. I got a couple projects that I'm working on with a lot of dope artists, a lot of insanely creative and talented people. I have an album in the works. It's called Let Me Live. That one's gonna come out pretty soon. I'm not done with it yet though, I'm still working on it. I got a project that's fully done called Live 2. That one's gonna come out at the end of August. I have another EP coming out called Have a Nice Summer. That one's my latest one. That one's gonna drop in the mid of August. I got a collab project with my boy Conceal called Set It Off. It's coming out soon. A collab project with my boy Heekin Brown that's coming out soon. Collab project with my boy Goldie Beats. They're gonna be put out soon. So you guys go to infinitetgm.com. You guys can find, you know, my singles, my projects, my latest projects, all my music videos. Anyway, you guys can contact me for studio time, for collabing, and all that, and you know, all that other stuff. So yeah, infinitetgm.com. You guys can go in there and just check everything out. My take on IE artists. I don't want to offend nobody. I don't want to offend nobody because I've had this conversation with a lot of fellow IE artists. I feel, and please don't take this the wrong way. Anybody who's watching this, don't take this the wrong way. I got love for every IE artist, for any artist, period. Not even in the IE who's just doing their thing, and I don't hate nobody. But I feel like the IE in general has a lot to work on. A lot of artists in the IE have to learn how to be humble. And I feel like they have to learn how to become better in networking, collaborating with other people, and putting in work. It's hard for other artists to work together out here. That's what a lot of people are lacking, that we're not all working together as a team to reach a certain goal. I'm pretty sure if every single IE artist connected with everybody, you know, with each other, and stopped worrying about all the crap and all the bull and all the hate and everything, I'm pretty sure, you know, we'd make it and they'd be like, yo, the IE scene is popping too, or yo, IE got a lot of hip-hop heads and a lot of hip-hop events and a lot of stuff going on too, but nobody's heard of us. Why? Because we're not working together. And I feel like IE are not, I'm not saying this is every IE artist in the city. I'm not saying this is every single one of you guys that act like this. I'm saying that it's some. Only some is just enough for us not to be heard of it for anything. Stop beefing over little things. Stop trying to act like you the hardest and you this and you that. And if you say you the hardest in the city and you rep your city and you own your city and somebody else says they own that same city you in, just own it together, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get it together with, you know, get us together with each other and just own your city the way you should. You know what I mean? And let that guy own the city the way he should too. Because at the end of the day, you're both just putting that same city on the map. Forget all that. Learn how to be humble, learn how to communicate, learn how to talk to each other, and just, you know, just be real with one another. I feel like that's something that we all, as IE artists, have to work on, myself included. Don't think I'm excluding myself. Shout out to my boy Heekin Brown from Paris, dude I've been working with for a good minute, dope producer, dope artists. Shout out to my boy Conceal. He's out in Victorville right now, but he's from Rialto, San Bernardino. Shout out to my boy S2K, bro. Relentless, bro. Thank you for coming through and interviewing me and everything. Super dope. Shout out to my boy Sean John Jack. Shout out to my boy Goldie Beats. My boy Izzy from school. Love you, man. Shout out to my boy Kev Classic. My whole Sick Music Entertainment group. Kev Classic, Villain, Dirtbag Third, Oditra, EA. But we all been working really hard making music and just making cool projects to put out. Shout out to every artist in the IE period. Shout out to everybody who's doing their thing. Shout out to everybody who's working and putting in work, you know, and grinding and putting in late nights and, you know, putting in, you know, late nights, and then in the morning, early in the morning, they go to work, and then they work all day until they go back, you know, they come out of work and they still got to work on music at night. So, you know, shout out to all those guys. Shout out to everybody who's putting in work in the IE and, you know, California in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep creating, guys. Let's keep making music. You guys can find my music anywhere. Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, Pandora Music, Tidal, YouTube, YouTube Red, YouTube Music. If you don't want to go and search up my name, just go to infinitetgm.com. Or if you do have the Apple Music or Spotify or anything like that, just search my name, Infinite space TGM in capital, and you know what I'm saying, and you'll find all my music, all my singles, projects, videos, you name it. You can even Google it. Just Google it, yeah.
I didn't win last year. I put in my all last year, but I didn't do good enough. I was running for my fear last year. Cried all my tears, shut down my peers. Locked myself away with a pen and a pad. Foot up on the gas, trying to switch up all my gears. Back and full effect, and I be aiming just to win it. I'm testing the limit, trying to shine the light on all you gimmick.
I'ma just be real. There's a big difference between the Christian hip hop industry and the music industry. So I feel like Christian hip hop. We were talking about Lecrae and Andy Mineo and things like that. I feel like if you're gonna be a Christian artist, be that. Be a Christian artist. Don't be a Christian artist, then go be a hip hop artist. Like you know, people who are not Christian and you know don't believe in a religion. Don't be like that. Don't be a Christian artist and be like, yo, you know, I'm all about God. But then make a full album with Zaytoven and talk about blowing stacks and doing, you know, blowing stacks and you don't condone strippers, but you're like whatever about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's don't do things like that. I feel like artists, like Christian artists, I feel like they're so like it's so tainted. The Christian industry is just so tainted. Like yeah, you know, everybody does everything for money. That's understandable. But it judges them trying to be in two different lanes at once. They try to be the Christian, the good Christian. They try to be the good, you know, oh yeah, like I'm gonna, you know, be all about God and save all these people and but then they over here like, yeah, I'm gonna collab with Lil Wayne and I'm gonna collab with Waka Flocka and I'm gonna collab with all these guys who, you know what I'm saying, like they are nothing about that, but I'm gonna have them not cuss on the tracks because I'm a Christian artist and I still gotta do this thing. Don't do that. If you're gonna be one person and one thing, be that one thing, man. Like I feel like it's just so stupid that a lot of Christian people, they're just like, oh man, like yeah, like I'm gonna be this and I'm gonna be that for God and this and that, but then later on they're still making the same music that everybody else is making. You can't just be two sides. You gotta be on one path. Like bro, if you're gonna do Christian rap, do Christian rap. Be a Christian rapper. Do what Christian rappers do. Talk about God, not to offend anybody, not to, you know, to disband anybody's belief or anything. A lot of Christian artists, they do this. They think that they can talk about God on one song and then another song talk about, you know, all this other stuff that regular hip hop artists talk about. Another thing too, like don't let a little bit of fame get to your head. Because a lot of artists, you know, they let this fame get to their head. They get big headed, and all of a sudden they too good to work with other people. Remember the people you come up with. Remember the people you grinded with, you worked with all your life, who helped you to get to the point where you're at. Don't just disband everybody just because you all of a sudden make a name for yourself. Be humble, be respectful. You know, just you know, love one another, work with one another, man. Like I said before, it's a competitive sport. Rap is super competitive, man. It's all about collaborating and working together. IE artists need that. I feel like every artist needs that. A good team just to work together and to stay positive and stay fruitful of ourselves. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So you know what I'm saying. Keep it 100 all the time. Stay real with yourselves and stay real with other people. You know, keep learning, make mistakes, make tons of mistakes, because from those mistakes you learn what your next step is and how to fix yourself to become a better person and to be greater as an artist or as whatever it is that you're doing. So
I am woke. I am woke.